Good afternoon, Mason families. It's Friday afternoon and it's time for our weekly video update. I hope all of you are doing well and enjoying that beautiful sun out there. Today, as we mentioned last week, we have a lot of information to share with you, and so we're going to go ahead and get started. Yesterday, Governor Whitmer announced the suspension of in-person K-12 instruction for the remainder of the 2019-2020 school year in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We understand this announcement may generate a variety of emotions and produce many questions. Today I'm going to try and answer some of those questions, but know that those questions will get addressed over the next coming weeks. And it's one day at a time, 1 week at a time, as we've said right along, ladies and gentlemen. The governor's notice came out yesterday, and we're dissecting it and taking it all in. But the first thing that we always want to address is, for us, is our primary concern we want to make sure we're always taking care of is our meals. So next week, meals will be on Monday and Wednesday. And those are still pickups. And then they will go back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting April the 13th. Pickups are in front of the high school from 9:30 to noon on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Now, next Wednesday, we will supply enough meals for the rest of that weekend. So it's a big deal pickup right there. But we're doing that because Friday is Good Friday next week, and we want to give all of our volunteers that day off right there. So meals are going to continue on all the way through until June. And then we'll see where it goes from there. In the governor's executive order, schools will implement a continuity of learning plan. As a district, we have been already doing much of what will be inside of this plan. For these last few weeks, ladies and gentlemen, assignments have been given, direction and guidance has been given. Staff members have been holding meetings with kids, have been emailing kids, and so what we have to put into the plans now is just a little bit more robust information that then goes off to the ISD for their approval. Please know that each building is working through their plan with their teachers, and things that we're taking into accord with this plan is we understand that learning at home, it's different. Okay, we get that. We also get the idea that what do we have to get done? What is that deep-rooted knowledge that we want kids to have? And so know that that's going to be in the plan. When the plans are all finished, we will hold virtual meetings with each building. It could be the whole building. It may be done by grade level. It just pertains to that building with the administrator and go over that plan and expectation. The one thing I want to make very clear right now, kids, listen. We expect you to do the work that is provided to you. We will do everything in our power, parents and students, to make sure that you have the tools necessary to do that work. But we are requiring you to do the work, and then it will be turned in. High school students, let me make this abundantly clear. You have to meet the school's requirements for credits, okay? And how to receive those credits. The governor, when she put out her communications, her goal was for us to make sure that we do not do any harm, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to do any harm in this school. We're going to meet our kids where they're at. We understand situations where we have kids at home right now watching their siblings throughout the day. We have parents who have to work. We understand that. And so we're going to meet our kids where they're at. But you have to do the work. So kids, if you haven't been doing the work, I would suggest you get going on it. The other thing is, students, 6th through 12th grade especially, you have an email address provided to you from the school with a password. You must log in daily and check your email. That is going to be our primary mode of communication to students, parents. And please know that we're going to keep you guys in email loops, but students, you have to check it. And then you need to reply. Don't just read it and not reply to your teacher. Okay? If your teacher's looking for a response, give them that response. Elementary parents, students preschool through for kindergarten through 5th grade also have an email address and a password. Information will be coming out on that and what we'll do with that and if we need to. And the reason why we provided that was Zoom, and some schools have been using Zoom. We've used it very little, but Zoom is not the primary way we want to do video conferencing with our families. We can go ahead and do that through Google Meet and also through our Microsoft Teams meetings. So that's why we have to use, students have to have their email address and their password so they can enter those meetings. But again, like I had said before, we know that we're going to do everything in our power if a child doesn't have internet access or if a child doesn't have a device. And look and know that your buildings are going to be communicating to you about these things. A few other items that I want to make sure that are addressed is this. There are a lot of questions out there. What I want you to remember always is your school takes good care of you. Please don't just jump out and assume that nothing's going to happen, that we're not going to do something. So I'm going to take care of a few big ticket items right now. Number one, graduation will happen. When and where, time of day, location, I can't tell you that because it's all dependent upon how we move through everything that's going on here in our state and across the country. But we will have a graduation, kids and parents. Next is we're going to have a prom. Again, prom is much like graduation. That's all dependent on when we can have it. But we're going to have it. We're not going to not allow our kids to have these experiences. And know that that is coming. When? We don't know that when that is, just like you can't predict. But know that we are going to make sure we have a prom. Those traditional activities, for example, bringing closure to the end of the school year, where our kids have activities going on where they can say goodbye to their teachers. Our 5th grade going to the 6th grade, or our 8th graders coming over to the high school. Those transitional activities. We're going to still figure out how to make those things happen because they have to. But know that it's not in our normal timelines that we always want to do, but those things are going to also happen. Locker and desk clean out. Yes, we have thought about that, as I know you have. And when we can do that, we will. And that'll be communicated to you by building and when that can all happen. Please, ladies and gentlemen, know this. Your care, your children's care is our number one priority. And when we can start allowing things to happen here at the school, we will. And we just ask for you to be patient and allow us to develop those plans and know that we will always think in terms of making something memorable. We know what it's been like already for our kids for these last few weeks. We understand the loss that they feel. And we understand that loss because we hurt. We want our kids here. This is a profession that you're called to, like all professions out there, but we're called to this one right here, to be around kids and to be teaching. The other piece of information I want to share with you today is this. The Michigan High School Athletic Association has canceled. So before it was postponed, but now has canceled the remainder of the 2019-20 winter and spring sports seasons in compliance with the Thursday, April the 2nd, State of Disaster Directive by the Governor. So again, this winter and spring seasons have been canceled, which means they're not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And no, like everything out there, it's another sad situation, and I wish that didn't happen, but it has. The MHSAA, get this one, okay? The MHSAA will, in coming weeks, provide guidelines and other information pertinent to this unusual off-season as attention is turned to preparing for fall of 2020. So what that means is the MHSAA will be providing us guidance on summer activities, from the weight room to the open gyms to the 7-on-7 football to the running, all of that stuff. We're going to be provided guidance on that from the MHSAA later. So please, don't just jumping out there wondering, okay, what's going to happen? When we know, you will know. Ladies and gentlemen, these have been 3 very difficult weeks, and we understand that. Please know that we're going to continue working diligently. When more information comes available, it'll be out to you. Next week on Friday, I'll put out another video update to you, and know that your school is working on those learning plans and will be administering them to you. And kids, as that last reminder, I know spring break's in front of you, but if you haven't been doing any work, you might want to get engaged onto it, because we hold the expectation that you are going to do that work. Ladies and gentlemen, get out there, enjoy this beautiful sun, get outside and just soak it all in. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. And as always, if you need anything, email your teacher, email your principal, email myself. Remember, our offices right now are still not open, so we are looking and receiving emails, and we'll respond to those emails. Take care and have a safe weekend, everybody.